Taehyung beyond logic. This hooligan performance makes ARMY scream hysterically non-stop. Hello ARMY. Welcome back to BTS fans channel. This time, I don't want you to just watch. I want you to truly sink into this moment. Go deeper. Feel every second unfolding. As if you were standing right there. In the middle of a sea of ARMY. With light sticks glowing. And the sound of screams slowly turning into an unstoppable wave of energy. Because honestly, what happened during this hooligan performance is not something you can explain simply. This is not just cool. Not just amazing. This is something that leaves people speechless. It all started even before the music began. The atmosphere in the venue already felt different. There was a strange tension. Like everyone was feeling the same thing, without saying a word. The lights dimmed. The noise faded. And slowly, the silence became louder. ARMY began to call his name. Softly at first. Taehyung. And in that moment, you could feel your heartbeat getting faster. Then, the first beat of Hooligan dropped. Deep. Dark. Heavy, but controlled. The lights came on dramatically. And there he was. Kim Taehyung. Not moving much. He didn't need to. Because just by standing there, his aura filled the entire space. His gaze, sharp. Not the gaze we usually see in interviews. Not the warm look that makes ARMY fall in love. This was different. Colder. Deeper. Like someone ready to take control of everything. And in that second, everyone knew. This was going to be big. Without warning. The music hit. And Taehyung moved. That first movement. Hit hard. Strong. Sharp. Full of control. No hesitation. No pause. Every step felt calculated. Yet at the same time, wild. As if he was simply following his instincts. And that's when everything changed. ARMY started screaming. At first, it was controlled. But little by little, it became impossible to hold back. Because what they were seeing was not the Taehyung they usually know. This was another version of him. Bolder. Darker. And completely beyond logic. As the verse continued, you could see how he played with the smallest details. The sharpness of his hands. The way his shoulders moved. Even the way he tilted his head. Everything felt like part of a story. As if he wasn't just dancing, but becoming something. And then, the first chorus hit. And this is where everything exploded. Taehyung released the energy he had been holding back. His movements became faster. More aggressive. More daring. Every beat felt like it hit the ground. And his body responded perfectly. Not too early. Not too late. Everything precise. And what made it even crazier was his expression. He wasn't just focused. He was enjoying every second. There was a slight smile appearing in the middle of that intense choreography. And somehow, it made everything feel even wilder. The camera tried to capture every angle. But honestly, no camera could fully capture what it felt like to be there. Because that energy was too big. There was one moment that made everyone completely lose control. The music suddenly slowed. Taehyung stopped. Just stood still. He slowly lifted his face and looked straight ahead at ARMY. That gaze wasn't just looking. It was locking in. As if he chose one person, then another, then everyone. And in that single second, everyone felt seen. And that's when the screams exploded. Not just loud, hysterical. Some people jumped. Some covered their faces. Some didn't even realize how loud they were screaming. And right when that energy reached its peak, the music hit again. And Taehyung moved again. Faster. Wilder. More unpredictable. His body seemed to have no limits. He spun. Struck. Flowed with the beat. And everything still looked clean. Precise. That's what made it different. Because no matter how wild it looked, you could still see the control within it. As if the chaos was something he fully commanded. As the song moved toward its end, the energy didn't drop. It rose. Higher. More intense. Sweat became visible. His breathing grew heavier. But there was no sign of slowing down. If anything, he was going deeper. More immersed in the character. And at that point, you start to realize, this is not just about dance. This is expression. This is art. This is Taehyung, showing a side of himself we may have never truly seen before. And finally, the last part came. The music softened. The movement slowed. But without losing power. Instead, all the emotion gathered in that moment. He made one final move. Simple, but impactful. The music stopped. The lights dimmed. And for 1 second, everything went silent. Still. As if the world paused. Then, the explosion came. ARMY's screams shook the entire venue. Louder than before. Longer. More emotional. Because everyone knew. They had just witnessed something rare. Something that couldn't be repeated the same way. Something that would stay with them for years to come. And maybe that's Taehyung's true power. Not just his incredible dancing. Not just his stunning visuals. But his ability to make people feel something. To make an entire room connect through the same emotion. And that night, in the Hooligan performance, he did exactly that. In a way that was truly beyond logic. So now, if you close your eyes for a moment and remember that performance, what do you feel? Can you still hear the screams? Can you still feel the vibration of the music? Or maybe you never really left that moment? Because honestly, some performances don't end when the music stops. They stay. They linger. And this performance is one of them. Thank you for watching. And see you in the next story, ARMY.